conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond.
Good afternoon, this is Abby with Talk Show Divas, and we are streaming live from Douglasville. With that being said, we'd like to give a special thank you to our social media director, Ms. Chantel Barksdale, and to our executive producer, Mr. Felix Washington. Ladies, let's introduce yourselves and let's get the show started.
Hi everybody, you know who I am, Kat Davis, Queen Diamond in the building.
Hello, Kamala, and that's right. You already know that girl got that diva-ish going on. How you doing today?
Okay, so ladies, our first topic is going to be about Jacob Blake, the shooting that happened in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Jacob Blake was apparently breaking up a fight between two females. He was shot at 7 times by police, and only 4 actually penetrated him, leaving him paralyzed. Thoughts?
Well, my thought on Jacob is, for one, once again, here we are dealing with another black life that matters. Not only do it matter, but it happened in front of his children.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's a touchy thing for me. Like I stated the last time, you know, I am a victim of police brutality as well, and it happened around my children as well. So it's like it hits home, you know. And the thing is, like, where are we really safe? It's like, where are we safe right now? Like, we're not safe at home. We're not safe in the place of business. We're not even safe just trying to have a good time, you know, enjoying our families and stuff like that. So where are we safe right now?
Apparently, it seems like nowhere. I just wanted to state that apparently he was breaking up a fight between 2 females. It really had nothing to do with him. He was actually trying to be a hero and stop this fight from continuing on and someone getting hurt when police arrived. And apparently, things led from there. He was shot in front of his children. He is now paralyzed. And I've even read so far today that he is still being handcuffed to his bed, even though he's paralyzed. He cannot move, he cannot walk without any assistance or being in a wheelchair, and yet he's still being handcuffed to a bed.
Yeah, it's really sad. It's so many different stories surrounding that whole scenario, because you have the dispatcher, who tells the police that there was a phone call saying that she was his girlfriend and that he was there and was not supposed to be there.
Right.
But then the dispatcher later says, well, she couldn't give any more information because the person that called in was not cooperating. But yet, like you said, the neighbor says that it was a fight between 2 females in the beginning. So it's a lot of things that are missing. There are a lot of gaps in that entire situation. But one thing I do know for sure is that he didn't deserve to be shot in his back.
No.
They also said that that there was a knife, that he possessed a knife, and that he admitted that he had a knife with him. But the knife was in the car up underneath, they said, the floorboard.
Yes.
But then the attorneys just announced on Wednesday that there was no knife. So it's like, you don't know what's the truth and what's not the truth. But what we do know that is factual is that he should not have been shot in his back in that manner, and especially with the children inside of the vehicle.
That's right. You know, and then my thought is, like, what would have happened if one of the children would have gotten shot?
Oh my God.
You know, that would have been devastating, you know, especially when, you know, like you said, they couldn't even find the knife that they were talking about. So it's more so of he say, she say, or them trying to cover up things as they always do, you know?
The cop said that he was afraid for his life, and that is a standard cue card response, okay? Everyone's afraid for their life when they're in the wrong for doing something.
The cop's afraid for their life.
He was afraid for his life.
Guess what? That man and his children was afraid of their lives as well. They was afraid from the beginning. That's why he was in a non-defensive position.
Yes.
You know, he was turned the opposite way.
Yeah. He probably felt very safe to have 4 or 5 cops standing behind him with guns drawn on him. He must have felt like, I did nothing wrong. There should be no reason why I get shot in my back. I'm only here protecting
He
and
did not
helping.
see it coming.
No, he didn't.
And the other thing about this whole scenario, I think the officer's name was Rustin Shesky. He was the one that shot the officer. Shot the Jacob. And so my whole thing is, you've been on this force. It says that he's been there for 7 years, and it makes you wonder what type of training are they in?
Lord.
Are they at the point, because of everything that's going on in the world, that they just want to, was he in a panic? Were the officers that were with him able to say, hey, hold up, don't do anything? Did they see him grab his gun to shoot him in the back? Because you could see him grabbing the back of his shirt.
Yes. His gun was
when he
always
reached
drawn,
forward. You know, so he could easily say, oh, well, I fear for my life because I thought he was reaching there to get something.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, I feel like he should have still took precaution before deciding to take that shot.
Yes.
From the video, what I remember, I believe he had his gun out already. I don't remember him reaching for it. I can be wrong, but
They
thought
said
that
it was
he had
some kind
out
of
already.
scuffle between
Well,
the
apparently-
officers before he even got to the car, so he was resisting arrest.
He was
I
shot
understand
twice
they was
with a
trying
stun gun already.
right with the taser,
Yes, with the
and it
taser,
didn't work.
And it didn't work.
With how many officers? It was what, 7?
They could have detained him. If look, okay, you got to talk about one person against how many people?
I think
about
7
7 or
about
8.
He
7
probably could have ended up
officers.
like George Floyd. If you didn't use a gun, you'd probably have a knee in the back of your neck.
If not, but still, like 7 against 1. Count that up. Like, how can he control or cannot be detained with 7 people being involved?
Yeah.
You know, they could have just clearly put handcuffs on him and locked him up.
They could,
versus,
but you know what? The officers may be also afraid because of so much controversy. So many people are against the officers because all officers aren't bad.
right.
There are some good officers, some bad officers, but now that's to
And
the
that is
point
very
where they were
true.
like,
Yeah.
they may be feeling like, you know, I don't know what to do at this scenario. Here we have an African man, a black African American man, and it's 7 of us. And here this whole situation escalates. He's resisting arrest. There's already been so many deaths already. So they probably won't even thinking right. But at the end of the day, I still feel like that the police force has a responsibility to help
Yes.
them in situations like this after all that has happened.
Yes.
Are they doing any trainings with this officer and giving them these type of scenarios and what they should do? How is their adrenaline running when all of this is going on? Because we've had situations with these chokeholds.
Lord.
We have situations with the no-knock
No knock announced.
warrants.
Yes.
Because we sure can't forget about Breonna Taylor either.
Or Miss
you know.
Johnson.
Or Miss Johnson, you know. So my whole situation with this is that the families, thank God he didn't die.
Amen.
Thank God.
Thank
to that.
God, oh my God, thank God he did not die. He has lived to see this through.
That's
Yes.
right.
You
But
know.
you know, see the thing.
But will
is-
he get retribution
retribution
for it?
But listen, the thing is like that though.
Yeah.
It's not just about him because it happened in front of his children. So
Oh, that's PTSD.
That's something.
right
That's
now, his
something.
children are going to
Absolutely.
suffer, you know, mentally, emotionally,
Yeah.
you know, from seeing
Yes.
their father being shot in front of them.
So what I'm worried about is
Is their
the-
mental health?
and the qualified immunity that they give these officers. So they've given law
yes.
enforcement the qualified immunity where they try to keep them from getting lawsuits with these type of scenarios when they try to say, well,
Well, they want to settle.
they don't want to settle. It's to protect them from having to worry about a lawsuit because they were in a situation where
They couldn't avoid
they
it.
couldn't avoid. Now, hopefully they won't try to do that for this situation, especially with 3 children involved.
But we have 3 children
Lord.
involved. We have
And the people on,
we have your position, your defense mechanism, where you would be known as a threat. You're
It's
not
hard to be a
known
threat
as a
when
threat
you're
where your
turned
back
around.
is turned. So you're in a non-threatening position.
yes.
You have that as well, and as well as 7 times. You get shot at 7 times. So, which means
And he was up close range when he was shot too.
yeah,
It was
so
very
7
close.
times.
So
That
thank
means
God, like you said,
each
that
one
he's
of them could
alive.
have had a bullet.
Yes.
Each
Ooh.
one of them, the children, including him. So
well, we have a viewer, Doc Moore. Hi, Doc.
hi, Doc.
He said, seems like more bad than good. I thought guns were only to be used when a police's life is in danger. Shot this man in his back. Why can't they practice the same restraints they do when a white person is involved?
I'm starting to believe that being black is dangerous. No matter what position you are in, non-threatening, subdued, whatever position you are in, as long as you are black, you are considered dangerous. And that's what it's just starting to look like. That's my opinion, may not be everyone else's. But this is clearly happening to more African American people than white people. And to touch on what you said about the children being in the car, PTSDs and things like that are very real.
Very real.
But these are children who also, and I don't know about this situation, but most times already grow up in hardened situations.
Right,
So they
in
have
their
life against
environment.
them already. Their environment, yes, their upbringing sometimes isn't always the best. And then you experience something like this, not realizing that this isn't something that goes away 1 or 2 years from now. This
that's
carries on
right.
through life,
Through life.
your adulthood. And if possible, if you have children, how you raise them now
That's
may
right.
be affected because of something that you saw that could, I believe, really could have been prevented.
And I agree, just as well as, like you're saying with the children, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we as humans, being citizens, we consider, the officers as a person of protection.
Yes.
But with saying something like that, how do you expect the children to even consider them as a piece of protection?
Right.
I would pretty much be more scared of them
Right.
and run away from them versus to run to them for protection or, just even for anything. I
Absolutely.
would pretty much wouldn't even look their way with the situation
It's
like that.
very confusing
Very
for the
confusing for
children.
children.
We actually have to take a break, lady. We'll be back with you guys in a few moments. Thank you for
After
watching and
these
tuning in.
messages, we'll be right.
Good afternoon. I'm Lieutenant Elmer Horn with Douglas County Sheriff's Office, and we're here at one of our communities, and Sheriff Pounds is here with us. And Sheriff Pounds is very involved in his communities, and he come out. We brought out our grill and our smoker so we can come out and help cook for this community. And Sheriff Pounds himself has come out and helped cook with us, and he's here to cook and help these folks today.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of the programs that I call Taking My Community Back. If you don't get out there and get involved in your community, you ain't gonna be able to get it back. And the sad part about it, we losing our young men at such a pace that it's unreal. We got to come up with something that will help us with these children. Got to. So this is what I'm doing. I love it. I'm out here in the sun. It's hot, but like I said earlier, we're gonna do these until we get that gap between law enforcement and the community bridge. We're gonna bridge that gap because we're gonna get out of here, we're gonna shake hands, we're gonna find out if they got any kind of problem we can assist them with, and invite them to the sheriff's office and come to the roll call. Just come see what's going on at the office. Thank y'all so much for being here.
Thank you, Sheriff Pounds. And like I said, this is just one of many events that we bring this grill out to help with our communities and get involved. I'm here
Again,
today.
We're going to discuss our next topic, Dr. Reverend John Gray and his cheating scandal, which would be, by my count, his third one.
Third one.
His third one.
One too many, okay?
Well, the first one, he got his wife a Lamborghini. I would have thought it would stop after that expensive gift to her, but apparently it did not.
No, and then I need one too. Yeah, we all need a Lambo.
Oh, okay. So, what do you ladies think about that? Second scandal was in 2019. He had a mistress.
The second one.
In 2019. So he's real consistent because it's 2018, 2019, and here we are 2020.
2020. Okay.
And this particular mistress has receipts. She has videos, recordings, text messages. He's looking to fly her out. He's willing to visit her. He has sent her money, and he's even asked for nude photos. So,
Wow.
Dr. Reverend John Gay, what's that about?
I mean, my question is he married?
He is married.
He is
That's why
married.
it's a mistress. Oh, he's married.
Okay, well, what response are we getting from the wife?
Well, the first response, she pretty much stood up face to face with him on live television and said that she forgave him and that he's just a person. And let's keep in mind that just because you have the title of a reverend or a doctor, or minister, you are still human, and there are going to be some slip-ups because you're not perfect. There's no way that you can be.
That's
but
right.
I believe that you knowing what you do know about the Bible, and you were supposed to be carrying that truth along with you all day, every day, one slip-up would be enough for me.
Yeah, one.
One. We can discuss one. We can work one out. But 2 and 3, it's kind of like, I
You're
need more
meant
than a
to do it,
Lambo. I need
Dr.
you to
Gray.
sign these papers. It's time to go.
Dr. Gray,
You
get
have
it
any
together.
thoughts?
Well, you know, I did, when it first came out, the first affair,
Yes.
and, you know, then I know he was on OWN, and
Yes,
he
reality
was doing
star.
yeah, he was a reality star. He was doing the YouTube, and you know, I was like, what is all the hype about with this Pastor John Gray?
Great.
And a lot of people have, you know, different opinions. And like you said, he's human just like everybody
Yes.
else. I just think that it goes a little deeper because as I was reading about these two, him and his wife,
Yeah.
one of the things that he said was that he knew he needed to grow up. And he said that he married his wife 2 sizes bigger than him. And I said,
Yes,
2
I
sizes
saw that.
bigger than him. You know, I'm like, what did that mean? So
Yes,
you
he
knew you were
belittled her.
immature
Well,
and that you wasn't
basically-
really ready
Ready for the marriage.
for the marriage.
And that's something you should know as attempting to be a pastor. I feel like you would have enough knowledge in your heart to know that you're not ready to be married unless it's for a look. Now, we do know that sometimes people get married, it's a business to them. It's not a real relationship. It's marriage for business, and that works for some people.
Yeah,
And then
this
some
could have been
pastors
him.
are pressured to get married
Because
because
they
of the
can't be in there
ministry.
single.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
So it's a lot of different scenarios, you know, that this, it could be that he was pressured into being married, but he never said he was. He just said he was immature and that she took a lot of sacrifices for him.
Yes.
He said to, one of the things that he said that I'm like, whoa. Now I don't know what y'all think about this, but he said he didn't marry a lid.
Who?
A lid. He married a covering.
Oh.
So what he was saying was she's like a coat.
Yes.
She
That
covered
he can, that
him.
he can put on and take off when he get ready.
Ooh, honey.
He
Say
said
it,
that
I'm
she
just saying.
covered him instead of her leaving him out to dry.
Yeah.
What she did was she helped walk him through what he was doing that was immature and that was
Right.
wrong, and he just prayed. You know,
Like a
she helped
parent.
pray. Yeah, like covered him. Like for instance, he was saying that a lid you could just take that off.
Yes.
Like I just said, you could take it off and put it on when you get
And
ready.
put it on when you get
Yes.
ready. But a covering, I'm going to walk you through this. I'm going to hold your hand through this. I'm going to sacrifice. And he said she had more pain in birthing him to be better than she did with the
Wow.
pain of her children.
And I agree, because you got to think about it. Dealing with the pain of your children versus the pain of a grown man
Exactly.
It's totally different.
is totally different. And
so
then
if he
you got-
knows that pain, why put her through it over and over
But
again?
not only that, as a woman, why would you want to be just a covering? You should
Yeah,
not
I'm gonna let
only
you say what
be
Doc
a
said.
covering, but you
I'll
should
let you say
also
what Doc said.
want to be covered, Because at the end of the day,
Doc Moore.
we need each other
Yes.
in order to grow. And then you don't want to just let the man think it's okay.
Right.
Well, Doc Moore suggests that he's full of crap.
Uh-huh.
And he said, number one, she should be out. You teach a person how to treat you, and by what you expect.
All right, Doc, I'm with you.
Yes, Doc, you need to join us on the show, honey. Get some more of yours. Let's see here. It says, why can't they practice in some restraint? Oh, that was the old situation. Doc, you are very consistent in replying to us. Thank you for being a part of the show today. I appreciate that.
But yes, so when it comes to a woman being, because that's just as plain as her being submissive to the man.
Yes.
You know, that's okay, but do you neglect yourself?
Well, hold on. She may not be neglecting herself. I'm pretty sure she has a very
Well, she's neglecting
prenup.
herself if she is dealing with pain.
We've seen women stay with men who have cheated on them over and over again because they get something out of it too now.
Well, okay.
And sometimes these marriages are businesses. And I don't know if this
Okay.
is one.
That is
but now,
true.
you cheated on me, you brought me a Lamborghini.
Huh?
Okay, come on, I accept it, and then you do it again, and I accept whatever gift you give. This is more like a business, it seems like to me, than an actual relationship. I can be wrong,
I
but I
think he
don't know
needs
if
some
she's
help.
necessarily hurt.
You think you need help?
I think
does.
he needs help because this is the thing. Remember when the situation happened with Kirk Franklin?
Kirk Franklin.
Oh, yeah.
He had an addiction, you know, and so there are some men that may, or women, that may have an addiction to something. His particular addiction was
Yes.
pornography. Maybe Pastor John Gray has an addiction
Addiction to more women.
well, according to him, the reason why he wanted to talk to the other women was for validation for himself.
Oh,
So
well,
there's
he
a
has some
self-esteem
insecurities
issue.
that he need to work out.
He has a self-esteem issue that you don't, having validation from
Yeah.
your wife is not enough.
It's not. Well,
That you
it
have
can't
to
be
have
enough if he
multiple
thinking
women
already that
to give you
she's-
that validation.
What was his response about his wife again? She's
She-
what?
He
Well,
said
he
that
spoke about her badly just
yeah,
to the woman, period. Not about
Right.
the coat and the covering. He spoke about her size of her weight, that she doesn't cook. In one article that I wrote, he was in the car driving with his son in the back, and he even panned the phone to his son so that his son can acknowledge that what he's saying was the truth
Now,
about
you
the
know,
wife.
he was wrong for
for,
that.
for doing that, for including your child. So I don't know. That could be an excuse that he uses, that he may have some insecurity issues or something like that. But he might just be a downright liar. I'm
But
trying to play
again-
devil's advocate here, and just because it's happened so many times, it's just hard to believe that
Yeah.
you still have these insecurities. The first one, okay. The second one, you got a problem. You need help. Let's get some therapy. If we're going to remain with each
Together.
other,
Right.
That's
But
right.
if you don't do it then,
Let's talk
and you
about a
claim it
solution.
now.
Yeah, let's talk about a
Yes.
solution because, like, all I'm hearing right now is something that's ongoing.
Right.
Ongoing,
Yes, and
ongoing.
third's a charm, 3 times a charm. I wonder if it's going to happen again, or if this is enough to shake him and wake him up
Or
to get
better
help.
yet, you know, out of all these women, you know, you've been so, you know, down and everything. Like, so are you gonna still be the one? You know, you
Right.
stay down and you do all these ultimate things for these men, and then they just, you know, when they find the one that they looking for, they tends to leave the one that did
The one
the
that
most.
rides and dies with him, the
Yeah.
ones that hold
They
him
leave
down.
them and they go on with the other
And
one.
then they
So-
end up getting 20% versus the 80 that they had.
Well,
Well.
you know, like I know Dr. Mrs. Gray. You better do what you got to do.
But
Sign
you know,
those
there's
papers.
some people that they accept this in their marriage and they're happy
do.
about it. And I said, if they happy,
Then
Hey,
we're
they ain't
happy.
got
So
nothing to do
this
with
is
me.
just like last week's topic with Will Smith and Jada Pinkett when they were, he gave her the permission, so to say, to be with the guy August for almost a 5-year-long relationship, and they're still together, and they seem like they're stronger than ever. So this could very well be one of those situations as well. But Will Smith and nor Jada disrespected each other or belittled
Right.
one another to another person.
And see, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to belittle me
right?
Yes.
to make yourself feel like it's okay, or
Right.
to make it a satisfactory thing for you, so that you'll be doing what you're doing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? No, okay. First of all, accept what you're doing.
Yeah.
Amen.
Know that it's wrong,
Amen again.
and know that it needs to stop.
Amen again.
And Doc says, you follow him as he follows God. Cheating is ungodly. A gift should have no bearing on being faithful. Kirk watching porn
Amen.
doesn't catch diseases or create children. If he's not happy, get therapy.
Or leave the marriage.
He
All
said,
right, Doc.
he said, or leave. Cheating is never acceptable for either party, and Will and Jada are just crazy.
All right, Doc. I can't wait to meet you in person one day, right?
Doc, you are right. Yeah, what Kirk was doing, watching
Yes.
porn, was not this. He don't catch diseases or anything like that, but it's still infidelity as it relates to the
Marriage.
especially if it offends the wife.
Absolutely.
And so my whole thing is being sexually involved with someone during a marriage does put your entire marriage at risk. It puts your body at risk.
Yes,
Absolutely.
it does.
And some men or some women do not care about their own selves, so of course they're not going to care about that person. That's
You're right,
when it
and that's
takes you
sad.
to make a decision to say, hey, do I want to continue to stay in this and put myself at risk because they decide they don't care about their bodies,
Right.
to put myself at risk from getting
And
HIV?
I agree,
You know,
because speaking of HIV, you know, people have diseases all the time, whether if it's herpes, HIV,
Yep.
or anything like that
Syphilis,
to that
gonorrhea.
nature, they will have it. But speaking of him being in his feelings, dealing with
Yeah.
his emotions and his insecurity, they will have those things and be silent. They won't
Yeah.
tell the person that they're dealing with that they have
something going
something
on.
when it's necessary. You know,
Right.
give me that option to say, okay, I would rather still deal with you knowing that that's what you have going on versus me not knowing and now I done contracted something
Yes. Yes.
and now I know
Right.
after I contracted
It seems like it's a little bit deeper than just cheating now that you bring that point up. This is about your health as well. And
Yes.
it's about your mental health also because black women, we have a lot on our minds as it is already,
Yeah.
being wives and mothers and first ladies. To have something like this happen and publicly has to really play on her heart. Even
It
if this
has
was
to.
some type of a business marriage where we're doing it for the look of it or for the church of it, I know it has to hurt.
Right.
You know, and it plays on you. I couldn't imagine, if it destroys your sleep, then it's a problem. I've been in situations like that before. Once my sleep was ruined and I had bad nightmares and dreams, I knew there was time to be done. And I can't imagine how she's sleeping at night for a third time.
Because we
feeling
may
like
not
this.
see it publicly. She may feel like I have to be strong for
Yes.
I know
everybody
she may
else.
feel like she
but
does.
I'm
She
sure
has to,
she
'cause she's the
has
first lady.
some
Yes.
horrible
She's not allowed
nights
to break down,
or
scream,
some
yell. She's
crying
probably not
spells in
allowed
those
to touch.
closets.
And not only that, just thinking about her being a first
weeping
lady,
rooms.
her being a
Weeping
first
room, honey,
lady, and
yes.
she's trying to mimic or show other women.
Yeah,
on how
other first ladies especially.
other women, just women coming up in the congregation,
Yeah.
other women that's following, you know, what they feel like a marriage should be by watching her. Because most of the time, that's how people do their
Yeah.
marriage. They go off of what other
Yeah.
people are doing.
Marriage goals.
And if you think about it,
you know, instead of trying to, you know, make their own marriage for themselves.
Right.
Right.
But, you know, like, me personally, I would definitely, when it comes to her, I know that people got their eyes on her. Period.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And not just the women, the men too. Because men are watching.
they're watching.
And they're like,
yes.
so how did this happen?
Right.
And then for this long, and for how many people done with, and she's still there?
Lord.
And that
she's
is
still there?
That is a major role. People downplay the role of a first lady, but the first lady is a major role in the church.
It is.
And throughout history, when you look at the first ladies have always been expected to be quiet, to be submissive, and to stand by their husband no
matter what.
No matter
And that's
what.
what I'm talking about. That no matter what thing.
Well, we have to take another break. We will be back with our next topic for Masika Kalisha and her faking her kidnapping.
What?
Just a few minutes.
Today's world exposes our youth to life experiences that are well beyond that which their years should allow. Violence, trauma, poverty, injustice. Our children's lives and their livelihoods are in constant danger. Wisdom, Inc. is a community-based organization designed to save young lives by reducing violence and assisting youth in their personal development. Wisdom stands for wise individuals structuring and developing youthful minds. Through our collective wisdom, we can change lives for the better. Wisdom, Inc. Reducing violence, developing youth, saving lives.
Are you an artist, a writer of spoken word? Do you have content ready but need exposure? Get to know me. I'm Alicia, host of a new Facebook live stream show called The Flavor, where we promote local and international talent of all genres. Here are some rules and regulations to the videos that we'll be accepting. They must be radio ready, no cursing, no lewd language. You must send us contact information as well as a YouTube link to your video so we can extract it from there. Email us at 1061tv@gmail.com, and we thank you for your time.
are back from our commercial break, and we are going to jump right into our next topic, which is Masika Kalisha fakes her kidnapping.
What?
So basically what's going on here is that she claims to have been beaten, kidnapped, and held captors by someone who would only let her go if she got on video and asked her fans to follow her on her OnlyFans account, to like and subscribe to the account, and give her tips on there, meaning send her money, so that she can pay to be released. Now, she made a video, she put it on Instagram. Her body did look very beaten up, but we obviously know that it was makeup. And her acting, for me, just told it all. She didn't even do a good job of it.
Well,
That's the truth. She didn't even do a good job.
here we go again.
Seemed
you
like
know,
she was modeling her bra and panty more than she was looking for help being,
okay, but listen,
saved from her
but
captors.
listen, everybody got to advertise and they got to get their likes and follows up some kind of way.
But you don't do that at the expense of an organization that's called the Rose Organization, which stands for Restored Overcame Sexual Exploitation. So basically, she said that she made the video to bring awareness to the organization who are helping rescue children and women from sex trafficking. So that's the problem that I have. People do things all the time for money. They do things for the likes, for the subscribes, and for the look of it. But when you go in to throw in an organization who's actually out there doing something, throw their name in the mud and your slime, then I have a problem with that. Because you're
Of
taking
course,
away
it's a
from the
problem
organization
anyway,
and what's
from-
really happening.
Just imagine when people are really getting kidnapped for real.
Yes.
And now you're using these resources that could be given to someone that really needs them. You know, so I totally agree with that. That's
Yes.
not a good look. But it's 2020. That's what they're doing. They're doing anything for like, follows.
It's sad.
They trying to be influencers and
Yeah.
all this kind of stuff, you know, and the media, most of it is coming from the media. You know, the media is saying, look, this is what we have to do. We have to get these likes. We have to get these follows.
Fake it till you make it.
You have to do that in order to even be subject to what? That's how they get paid from
Yeah.
the media.
And I know she was saying that, okay, so she was in a film that was dealing with sex trafficking, and so they dropped her.
Yes.
And it was it was with UMC Double Cross. And so she was saying, why you dropped me when that's why you like me in the first place.
Right.
Because this is who I am. I do things that are out of the ordinary. I'm blunt. This is just my attitude, she
Yes.
said, and I was doing it to bring on more views. Not saying that I agree with what she did, but I don't agree with them dropping her when they're the ones that motivate them to do these things.
Right.
You know, and she could be telling the truth or she
Yes.
could be lying. We don't know.
Right.
But I do know this is a very sensitive topic.
Yes, not one to be played with lightly.
Not at all. I've actually had a encounter with a lady who happened to be a dominatrix lady who was involved in sex trafficking. I didn't know who she was. I was introduced to her. I give her my card, and she asked me what I do. I tell her, what I do. So then I ask her, what does she do? And then she tells me, oh, she said, dominatrix. I was like, what is that? I felt so crazy because I didn't know what it was, right?
That's okay. But we know now.
We know now. And so she was explaining to me that the hub here in Atlanta is so heavy.
Yes, it is.
I mean, she said they make billions of dollars. And some of the things she said, I could not believe, I couldn't fathom, that they literally go out here and scout from 11-year-old boys on up, as well as young
Girls,
females.
yes.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, and it's like, when they say scout, like, it's just as easy as when if you out with your family and one of your children stray away a little
Yes.
bit. It's just that easy.
Oh, don't think that it's just young girls out scouting
it's
other
the
young girls.
women like us, too.
It's even women like us that are in families because of the money that they're getting. So it could be a woman walking with her family looking for another young boy or another young girl to take for someone else just to get some money.
Yep, for money.
Well, with the Masika thing here, they had the founder of the Rose Organization she gave her side of the story, and she said that she never agreed to work with Masika because apparently there was a letter that popped up, and it makes it seem as if they're going into business together, and this is what they're expecting from you, and that we're agreeing to you putting this video out there.
Right.
That Masika produces to the world to take some of the blame off her, to get the heat off of her. Now, the woman who's the founder of the company said this is a lie. I never wrote that letter to her. So Masika and her have a conversation just recently. They're apologizing to one another. Masika somewhat tries to throw blame elsewhere to make it seem as if someone in her camp produced that letter to convince her to make that, thinking that it was going to help the Rose organization. It did not. So I understand what you're saying about women scouting, and you know, just I don't even really think that I notice the little boys sometimes, that it's happening to little boys as well. So
Yeah.
I'm somewhat ignorant to that, but now that you say it, it does make sense. And I think she took valuable time away from the organization because, like you said, they could be out there really doing something.
Yeah,
and they are. Thankfully, they are. I just think it was in poor taste of her. It makes me look at her differently because there's
Yeah.
other ways to fake it till you make it, honey. I mean, you've been selling teas and drinks and all
Right.
kinds of
And
stuff.
selling
couldn't
and
pick up-
selling and selling.
Yeah.
And selling and selling.
Okay, so there's
Doc
other
is
ways to
at it
make some
again.
money and get
Come
your...
on, Doc, what you got,
Doc, I
Doc?
want to hear from Doc. What is he saying now?
He said if she faked it, drop her like a bad habit. It's nothing to play with. I think she should be arrested. Doc, now you just going too far. She should not be arrested for
Now,
that.
I'm down
Well, you
with
know
Doc.
what? They would arrest you
I'm
if you
down
made a
with
false
Doc.
police report.
That's right.
Now,
I'm
this
down
is something
with Doc.
serious. She lied about being kidnapped, beaten, held captive.
So she needs to
But
be
how long did
for
she
ransom.
have? How do y'all know she wasn't just doing it? You know, like
Doc, I got you, Doc.
role.
advocate
How you
here.
know?
Come on,
I'm
Doc.
being the devil's advocate today. So how y'all know she wasn't being in a role like
I
she
got you, Doc.
like she does when she played it on the film? How
said
y'all
that
know she wasn't doing that?
She said she made that video specifically for the Rose organization because she is working side by side with them to bring awareness.
down with Doc.
And that
She
was
should've
part
got
of their
arrested.
advertisement or their advertisement, however you want to pronounce it, and she lied.
Let me tell you why I feel
She
like
was
she should
modeling
have got
that brown
arrested.
panty. She should have got paid for that.
But let me tell you why I feel like
because
she
y'all
should've
know I
been
had to
arrested.
bring some little debate up in there. Y'all know I
But let me
did.
tell you why I feel like she should have been arrested. It's because other women are watching her,
Yeah.
other people are watching her, and that leaves room for them to play the same games.
And we have time
Make
for
her-
games.
So
That's
what is
right.
she being arrested for?
For
Fabricating.
fabricating a kidnapping.
Kidnapping.
That's a charge.
Being beaten.
Who else
held
did that?
captive.
Somebody
But
else
that's
did
a
that.
real charge. And not only that, like, think about it. Like, if you don't do anything to her, then
a lot of other people
if
think
they,
they
if
can
they
do
do
it.
it, what can you do to them?
And
you know,
with her being a
make her-
celebrity and having the face, she
Make
is
her
somewhat the
as an
face, whether we make
example.
her or not. Yes, you know,
And she did.
face.
You're right, Doc. She did lie and she requested money. I forgot about that. She requested money.
She said
too.
if they're gonna let me go if I get money. I need you guys to subscribe.
that's
to my
I feel like she should give that money back. I
She
feel like
better not
she should
have
give
gotten
everybody that money back. She received
Or
money.
she needs to donate it to the Rose organization.
Well, the Rose organization said they didn't want it.
No, that's right.
I don't
and I don't
blame
want it
them.
either.
I don't blame them.
They didn't want it
Like,
because
girl,
of the
you
way
done
she did
screamed
it.
our name
Right.
enough into your mess.
But she did bring light to an organization that I did not know existed. So if you guys are interested and maybe looking forward to helping with the Rose organization, it's r.o.s.e organization, and you can look that up. And I mean,
they
I did.
really
It was my
do.
first time hearing of it. So
They
thank
really
you,
do
Masika.
help women as well.
Doc
you
said
know.
she's stealing.
Doc said she was stealing. That's right, Doc. I'm with you.
Oh, come on, Doc. Say it again now.
Okay, Doc said he ain't
But-
playing with her now. No.
But seriously, though, we have to start holding people accountable for
Accountable.
the things that they do, because people are always watching,
Yeah.
and you don't want the next person to think that it's okay.
And she knows better. She's an adult. She's not a child. She's not a teenager. She's a woman, and she has a child of her own.
That's
So
right.
she
Which
she
means your
definitely
own
should
child
know
is
better.
watching.
Absolutely.
So, you know, we have
And
to
that
be
thought did
role
come across
models.
my mind. Like, wonder what, you know, if her child was older, what would she say to that? But I guess it doesn't matter. She has her butt in front of the screen all the time anyway. So I don't think she really
But I'm just
has
saying,
a
come on here,
a
girl.
veil over
Please
her
do
daughter's
something
face.
else than faking your kidnapping. Next time, just call Cam Diva. I'll do it for you.
Okay. Doc said she need the money for an attorney.
All right, Doc.
Oh, Lord. Okay, so let's see here. We got the OnlyFans and to follow her to send her tips. Now, I don't really know what Masika even really does. What does she do?
I know she was
was
on
on-
Love and Hip Hop at one
That's what
point.
she
And
was
she
doing.
hasn't been on there in quite some time, and I know she's selling a lot of
And
things.
she wasn't
like
even
teas
like
and body
a
wraps.
main star of the show. She was brought in.
So can we consider her like a celebrity?
semi.
She has a following.
Well, evidently she's a semi-celebrity because that's why she still had to
Fake it till she make it. Well, Masika, I know you're probably watching this at least.
Girl.
I hope you are. We are a little bit disappointed in you. I don't think you realize that what you did was actually did more harm than it did help. And we hope that you choose not to do something like that again, just to get likes or followers. You know, there's other ways to go about doing it. And also think of your daughter. Basically, you are her biggest influence. You're not my child's role model. You're your daughter's role model.
That's right. And then not only that, like if you want to, you know, put up something, do a GoFundMe.
She ain't gonna do no GoFundMe.
Do a GoFundMe.
She gonna think people think she broke. You can't do that when you faking it till you make it.
Well, you're broke if you kidnapping for pricing.
Any thoughts? What's Doc have to say next?
Doc,
Because I know
he
he's
said
on
nothing
there.
else.
He said nothing else.
Nothing else.
Doc,
All I
come
know
on, give it
is-
to us, Doc.
is that we should take things like that seriously and understand that there are people that are really hurt and bruised for real.
For real.
And being held against their
will.
And they are looking for a way out. And it's very frightening. And,
I
you
can
know,
only
and to do
imagine.
that, you don't know who else seen that may have a loved one that they can't reach.
Or
because of that.
they need
Or
those
what
services
state of mind
for.
you
Yeah.
put some people in because of doing something like that. So
Because if I see that and I see that my child did that, I'm hysterical. I'm trying to get all the weapons I can get my hands
Exactly.
on. I'm calling all 14 of my uncles.
Then
I'm
just to
calling my
find out
cousins.
that it's not true.
Yeah.
I would have been calling the police. You know, what if they had a
whole-
whole SWAT team to come out?
Yes.
You know, it's
I
just
never thought of that,
ridiculous.
but you're absolutely correct. And that's wasting
And then you're
people's
using
time and money.
services. You using services up that could be provided for something else.
Right.
You know.
He said, women and children are being taken at a terrible rate. And we men, not defending our women, men needs to step up and protect our neighborhoods. Child shouldn't have to be yours for you to care enough to keep them from being kidnapped. I type slow, but oh hell no.
That's right, Doc. That's right, Doc.
But
It's
he's
looking
not
for
lying.
her.
And I was just going to say that
It
it
takes a village to raise the children.
Yes,
we
it
don't
does.
have that anymore. When I was young, every older woman on that block, every grandmother on that block was my grandmother.
I'm talking about
I got
every last
spanked by
one.
multiple people and
Don't
sent
get in
home.
trouble
I
from
get
the
spanked
beginning
by
of the
this
story.
house, yeah. Get walk down the street and that person hear what happened. I get spanked again. Spanked all the way downside to my grandmother's house.
Then you
But
get
know
spanked
what?
by your mommy.
Yes,
she's
but it was
home.
out of
Then your
love.
daddy when he gets home. I mean,
It was
but that-
out of love. We
you
don't
knew
do
better.
that anymore.
You knew better. But you knew
Yeah.
better.
We don't have grandmothers that are the same. A lot of grandmothers that I see now, they're young.
And not even
they're
mothers,
partying,
you know,
things
right
like
now,
that.
children
And
are having babies.
Yeah.
Yes, and then a lot of children, once they hit 14 or 15, they're left to fend for themselves because they know how to cook and let themselves in and lock a door behind them. And that's just a sad fact.
It
So
is.
you're right about that as well. I would appreciate if more men stepped up and did things. You know, they may
Absolutely.
not ever want to lay their life on the line, but just to be a mouthpiece for us sometimes, we need that as well. Or just to be a shield sometimes to protect us from some things. We need that
Yes.
as well because black women have had it hard for a very, very, very long time.
They have.
And we need help. We need to be able to have our brothers, our uncles, and just men, period,
Standing
be
right
there
with
for
us.
us.
Standing
Because
with us.
we're always on the front line.
Always.
We need your help. We need you guys to stand up and back us up.
Yes. Go ahead, go for it.
Okay, so I think we're going to go to break now, and we are going to discuss with you guys when we come back the second stimulus check because, honey,
We need that money.
period. Did I do it right?
Yes.
Okay.
Period.
We'll be back with you in 1 second.
Hi, I'm Chief Gary Sparks with the Douglasville Police Department. Today we want to give you some safety tips concerning traffic stops. Take a look.
So you look in your rearview mirror and see flashing blue lights. What do? Remain calm. Yield to the right and pull your vehicle over into an off-road area that is safe for both you and the officer. Put your car in park. Remove your foot from the brake and turn the radio off. Remain in your vehicle. Have your driver's license readily available for the officer. Keep your hands on the steering wheel, visible for the officer at all times. If you need to retrieve any items from the interior, explain what you're reaching for to the officer and avoid any sudden movements. Rolling the window down completely establishes a level of trust with the officer and allows for ease of interaction during the routine traffic stop. Be courteous and polite. Be cooperative and willing to follow the officer's instructions. During a routine traffic stop, the officer will return to his vehicle to run the tag and driver's license verification and complete a citation if one is necessary. Once the officer returns and approaches your vehicle, whether or not a citation or warning is issued, please remain calm, courteous, and cooperative. Sign the citation acknowledging you agree to appear in court, and do not dispute the citation with the officer. The officer will give you a court date to explain or defend your infraction.
Okay, ma'am. Like I told you, I did clock you at 51 in a 35 mile per hour speed zone. I did issue a citation, okay? This here is going to be your court date. I just need a signature from you stating that you received a copy of this citation, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Here's your driver license.
Thank you.
Along with a copy of the citation, okay? Do you have any questions or concerns for me?
No, sir.
Okay, well, you have a nice day, okay?
Thank you.
Thank
too.
you.
Following these few simple steps will help ensure a safe interaction for both you and the officer.
I hope these few tips help you as it relates to dealing with law enforcement and traffic stops. Not only in traffic stops, but in all encounters with law enforcement. We hope that all our encounters are safe for the citizens as well as for our officers. Again, we want you to be safe, and if you have any problems with the Douglasville Police Department, don't hesitate to give us a call and make your concerns known. I would add that Georgia is a right to carry state, and we hope that if you are carrying, that on these traffic stops and all encounters, please let the officer know that you are carrying. This will ensure your safety and our officers' safety. Thank you, may God bless you, and may God keep our community safe. We are one.
Good afternoon, we are back. This is Abby with Talk Show Diva, streaming live from Douglasville. And we just want to give a special thank you again to Shantae Barksdale, our social media director, and Felix Washington, our executive producer.
Yes.
So, our fourth topic now? Our fourth and final topic. We're going to talk about that stimulus check that I know everybody wants to get. Second one, yeah, because that first one hit, but the second one might hit differently. But I know a lot of people are excited to be possibly getting something. So let's discuss what it would be like. What's going on?
Nothing's going on. That's the problem.
Because I'm still waiting for the first one.
You have people still waiting on the first check they haven't received. And then now they're talking about the second stimulus. And the Congress is stalling right now. You know, I have to admit, Trump did go ahead and sign and do what he felt like he needed to do so that people could get the second stimulus check, but he does not make the ultimate decision.
He doesn't.
And a lot of times we looking for the president to do a whole lot of things that they can't do it by themselves. It's Congress, and that's why we need to start voting locally. A lot of times we just not voting the people in our local
oh yes, absolutely.
Cities that we need to be doing, and we're allowing anything to happen in our counties, and then we want to complain. So, you know, my thing is stop complaining if you're not going to vote on a local level. I'm not even talking about the president. I'm talking about on a local level because that affects us directly,
and that affects your community directly. I don't
and it affects you as an individual as well, because you don't have to live in that same city or county. And don't forget to vote November 3rd. It's coming.
Yes.
And that's the time to get your voice heard. And that's the time for you to, all those feelings and everything, put it on paper. If you want to, you can go ahead and mail it out early.
Absolutely. Right. Get your family, get your friends together, make a party out of it. You know we love to party and throw celebrations for any and every
That's we have a voting party.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you have a party when you get a new place. You have a paint party, have a voting party. Get your friends, your family, anyone over the age of 18 or 18 now, and take them out to vote with you. Then have a celebration afterwards, because you should be proud for the fact that you can vote now.
That you have a voice.
And I think that people are not remembering that. There was a time that Black people, African American people could
Could
not
not vote.
That's
right.
right. So
And
take
definitely
advantage
us
of it.
women.
Yeah,
Us
oh
women.
my God! Again, here we go. Black women having it very hard. For
Very hard. Having
You know?
to fight for everything, you know?
So, do you think that at some point it's going to push through and we're going to get this check?
Well,
I know people are excited for it. I know people who need it, not excited.
Yeah.
They need it. They're desperate for it. I'm sure.
Well, I pray that I get the first one, and I'm still waiting for plus the second one.
So you're going to get a double up, Miss
I'm hoping for a double point.
Yes, girl.
well, I had wrote down something. I didn't want to forget it because I wrote it down. And it was saying that Congress let 3 key coronavirus relief programs created in March basically expire.
Ooh.
That was the unemployment benefits, the eviction protection, the small business program. All of that expired last month. And in the meantime, the economy is showing few signs of recovering from this pandemic.
Yes.
30 million people are collecting unemployment. The
Wow.
consumer spending has went down 8% from January, and small businesses have fallen at 18%. The unemployment rate remains higher than any time during the Great Recession. So my thing is, do I think we're going to get this
Right.
stimulus check? I have no idea, because if they don't stop all this pillow talk that they're doing,
pillow talk,
and
yes.
all this unnecessary debate that has nothing to do with what we're going through right
what we
now
need.
and what we
Yeah.
need, it's going to continue to be prolonged. And what's going to happen is going to create more chaos.
Yeah.
You know, because look how long it's taken for them to just regenerate the unemployment, the pandemic unemployment. You know, so, and then not only that, the business part of it. They gave people all this money for them to pay back. And you're saying they don't have to pay it back until a year later, but how are they going to pay it back if they can barely keep their business open with
Month to
the little
month.
money that you have given
Or
them?
week to week even.
You know?
Me personally, I always thought that was like sort of kind of a setup with them even offering this money, you know. But truly, a loan, you pay back. And if it wasn't a grant, then knowledgeably you know that that money is due.
They gave all that money out, but still it wasn't enough money to pull people out of the position that they had been placed in because of this pandemic, because of people getting sick. People are still getting sick.
Yes.
People are still being tested positive for coronavirus, and they keep saying they have this new vaccine. I don't even believe that. It's getting worse, if you ask me.
I think people are having a hard time with, obviously we know they are having a hard time with everyday things, but a lot of people are having a hard time finding resources in their community, or they don't have the knowledge of the resources that are there. So I just wanted to share with you the organization 211. You can dial it on your phone, and it'll help you be put in touch with local organizations right there in your community that can help you with things like your utility bill, rental assistance. There are even organizations now that are helping people get back and forth to work via bus pass, food and children's clothing. So take advantage of that, because we know that there's a struggle going on out there for a lot of people.
There is a struggle.
And 211 is a
there.
great number to call. I've used
is.
it before when I first moved here to Georgia, and I was blessed. So that's something I just want to throw out there. Be sure to look for your local resources too in the meantime until something comes along.
And also on Roswell Road, there is a community feeding, and they feed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And people are welcome to go there as well if you're hungry and you don't have anything to eat.
You have the name?
It's called Community Feeding Community. Wait a minute. Let me make sure. Hold on.
Let's see.
Let me make sure. I wish I had got the name of it. I know it's on Roswell Road. It's right after, there's a corner of Roswell and Hammond, and right after you pass that, it's on the left-hand side, right off, when you get off 285. This is in Sandy Springs.
Sandy Springs.
Sandy Springs, Georgia. They are feeding the community 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm going to actually get that information and make sure that I have it the next time. But it is on Roswell Road. and Sandy Springs.
And as well as if you need assistance with, as Abby said, with the rental, assistance, food, utilities, also check out Salvation Army at salvationarmy.org.
And I just got an email the other day from the YMCA, my local YMCA, and they're giving out fresh produce baskets as well. So reach out to some of these organizations that have been in your community for years and years and years who are looking to help people. You just have to be able to get there and maybe get you a ride there, but you can carpool with someone and just make it a mission to, you know, be helpful,
Get some
take the
help.
resources.
Well, if you call Atlanta,
don't be embarrassed.
If you call Atlanta Food Bank, they will actually have food delivered to them. So they can call the Atlanta Food Bank.
Never knew that. That's good information.
They have people in different communities, and they will deliver the food to the people that don't have transportation. One of the things that I did a back to school drive with some other nonprofits. I have a nonprofit myself, and we went to Cove Apartments.
That sounds familiar.
Which is off of Moreland Avenue. I think it's Thomasville Heights was what they call that area. Well, we went out there and we gave away printers and school supplies, and we had snacks and drinks. And one of the things that really hurt me was to see that those children were out there with no parents. It was a lot of them out there with no parents. They had their older brother or sister that were like 14 or 15 that had them. You had children running around with no shoes on. Their hair looked like it hadn't been combed in months. And so we are planning to go back out there again. And I just want to tell anyone out there, if you are familiar with that area, if you are doing things to help in the community, please make sure that you visit that area. It's horrible. Even the atmosphere is horrible, where it's glass and stuff just broke all over
on the streets.
On the streets,
Where
and
kids have to
actually
play.
not in the streets, but in
the apartment
in
complex.
the apartment complex. Yes, paper. Just I've never seen anything like that. You know, I've been doing back to school drives, but we've been in areas where
you didn't see that kind of
you
stuff.
didn't see that kind of thing.
Right.
And one of the ladies suggested us to go there, and it broke my heart to see it. And it shows me more and more what my purpose and passion
And why
is,
you do
and
it.
why we do what we do. You know, so I just implore others to join in and
Get
go
together
out
and
there.
help one another. That's
Well,
why
no
we have
problem.
2 hands. One hand to help the other. It's
That's
not to hold a
well, your
cheeseburger.
nonprofit, we can collaborate.
Okay.
Yes. I have one as well. It's called Kamala Care.
Oh wow!
Okay, well, I
So
guess
we're
that
gonna-
makes 3 of us because I have one too. That's Abby Incorporated.
Look at that! Look at that!
Normally what I was doing on my birthday was feeding the homeless. I didn't get to do it last year, but this year, my birthday, September 29th, I would like to continue on with that tradition of going down by Fulton Industrial and feeding the homeless. Well, not necessarily the homeless, the in need, because there were children out there. That area was very high in prostitution.
Wow.
I did
it
not
is.
know that. So when I got down there, I was surprised as well to see what I saw. But like you said, there were a lot of children that were alone. They weren't kept well. And they were hungry.
Yeah.
And some kids, we didn't even have enough food. There were so many people we didn't expect.
Wow.
You know, I wish we had done more. But this year, I want to make sure that I do it. I would love for you ladies to join me. And anyone else who's interested, you can follow us on, you know, this Facebook here and leave a comment to make sure that we are providing, because we have to help each other.
Yes,
it may
we
just
do.
be one time for my birthday, but maybe somebody somewhere would like to have the ideal of doing it again on just a Sunday, or maybe every Sunday.
Or maybe we can do it on my birthday, which is
Right.
September the 10th.
So we
we're in
have
there
to
together.
be able to continuously help one another and find ways.
Yes.
Be kind to your neighbors. And you know, in the Bible it says, love thy neighbor. When I
As
was
thee
younger,
love thyself.
amen, I thought that literally meant like the person that lived right next to me. So I was like, I'm gonna love with that person. But then I realized as I got older and more mature that it meant the person that you're coming in contact with every day.
Yes.
So that's it for today's show. We hope that you enjoyed visiting with us and talking with us. And thank you, Doc Moore, for being so interactive.
Yes, Doc, we hear you.
And we ask that you guys have a safe and blessed day. Talk Show Divas signing out.
All right.
TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond.